Further debate, the member for Guelph.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm pleased to rise to have the opportunity to debate the government's fiscal update. And I just want to say, Speaker, that there are a lot of things in this bill to support. Things that I called for in a letter last week to the government: increased funding for health care, free child care for essential workers, an additional $148 million for municipalities to distribute to food banks, shelters, and other nonprofits, doubling the employer health tax, which is something we've been calling for to support local businesses, and a deferral of the municipalities paying the education tax to help free up their cash flow. So there are reasons to vote in favour of the bill, and I'll put aside political partisanship and stand here together with all members from all parties in this House to move this forward. But Speaker, I also have to say that we can't let fiscal prudence or austerity get in the way of saving lives and supporting our economy. This is an unprecedented health emergency in the biggest economic downturn, or likely to be the biggest economic downturn any of us will experience. And so we must swiftly support healthcare workers in this province, workers, businesses, everyday people. And we can't let perfection get in the way of unlocking the support that people need. And so right now, my biggest concern is saving lives and making sure that the people who are working so hard on the front lines to save people's lives have the support they need. I want to thank Dr. Williams for being so blunt and honest with people about the threat we face, and the Premier and the Health Minister for being honest with people about it as well. But here's the bottom line, Speaker. Over 10,000 people are awaiting a test right now. We already are hearing devastating stories from the front lines of healthcare workers who don't have personal protective equipment. Hospitals are setting up donation drives for masks as we speak. And while it's inspiring to see businesses stepping up to fill the gaps, we need government to step up and fill the gap too. The Registered Nurses Association of Ontario today put out a plea that we need more support for ventilators and other essential health care supplies. And so I ask, is the $75 million being allocated for personal protective equipment, is it enough? How many masks and ventilators will it cover? Do we have enough here for the beds we're going to need? Are we prepared as a province for the worst case scenario? Speaker, we have to do everything to avoid this. And I don't believe fiscal prudence should get in the way right now. I believe part of quarantining partisanship is to say that, you know what, we'll give the government a pass if we have a big budget deficit, because right now the people of this province come first, and the frontline healthcare workers providing support for them come first. Speaker, other provinces are stepping up to provide people with basic income support payments. BC is providing their residents $1,000 a month, Quebec $573 per week, in addition to what the federal government is providing. Ontario has to step up and do the same thing, providing basic income support payments for people so they can pay the rent, keep a house, a roof over their head, and put food on the table. Speaker, I worry about renters especially, and I appreciate and thank the government for saying they're not going to enforce rent evictions. But BC is suspending rent evictions, period, because people are still receiving eviction notices, and it's anxiety-producing at a time that's incredibly difficult for people to receive those notices, even knowing that they're not going to be enforced at a tribunal. And so why didn't we just be clear? Evictions will not happen during this pandemic, period. Speaker, according to a recent survey, 70% of small businesses are saying they're not going to survive given the current economic conditions. The Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses is calling for an additional wage subsidy. Speaker, the 10% wage subsidy that the federal government's providing simply isn't enough. Countries like Denmark are providing 75%. Others, UK, are providing as high as 80%. And so if we want businesses to retain workers so when this emergency is over, they have a job to go back to, I believe we have to up our game when it comes to helping businesses retain their workers. I finally just want to raise one final, before I conclude, I want to raise one final concern. And that is, I believe it's fiscally prudent for the government to have their contingency plans in place and to have those funds available. But I also would implore the government to work with the opposition just to ensure the transparency of allocating those funds as they are needed, so we can be a part of the conversations about making sure those contingency funds are allocated in a way that's most pressing in our communities. And Speaker, I want to conclude by saying that, like the other independent member, that I appreciate the opportunity to work with the government House Leader, the official opposition, and the other independents to figure out how we all work together. Because the people of Ontario expect us to work together. And part of working together is not only talking about how procedurally we can make things happen, but also talking about how we can deliver real solutions to people in our communities. And I believe we all should have a seat at the table in helping discuss those solutions and delivering those solutions for the people of Ontario. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much.